Ah, dandelions. Okay. And I know you're saying, wait a minute, Jeff, dandelions are definitely invasive. And if you look at that picture, that is from somewhere out west, I think, probably Utah. You see a large field absolutely covered in dandelions. So look at that, it's taking over. They're not native. They're definitely invasives. Um, and you are correct that they are not native. Dandelions are native to Europe and parts of Asia, but they are what would be said to be naturalized. They have established themselves at this point in all 50 states, and I believe all of the Canadian provinces. Um, they are pretty much a worldwide plant at this point. Um, However, they are not currently categorized by either the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation or the oh gosh, the federal agencies. I'm trying to remember which one. They are not classified as invasive species. Okay, by and large, they do not do economic harm, and they are not really, just despite how it looks in that photograph, they are not really um, an economic threat. Um, okay, uh, they don't alter the environment all that much. Okay, these just some other notes on dandelions is that they are perennial. So again, like our goldenrod, we think of you kind of think of it as a year-to-year thing, but they have a taproot that can sprout new plants each year for many years. Each plant can produce thousands of seeds per year. I've seen anywhere from 3 to 20,000 seeds per year. So you look at that field, for example, and there must be tens of thousands of dandelion flowers out there. And if they are each producing, 3,000 seeds, that is a lot of seeds to scatter. And those seeds can fly for miles and miles before finding a place to land and potentially germinating. Um, it has been generally a useful plant, used in different medicines, used for dandelion wine, of course, and also as food for salad greens. I think that the root is edible. I think I've had know people who have eaten the flowers as well. Um, it is a bitter type of herb. It has latex types of substances in it that does make it bitter, but it is not dangerous to people. It is not dangerous to livestock. It's a more than harmless. It's generally helpful. Okay? And like our goldenrod, it is also in the aster family. Okay, um, and it's quite pretty to look at. It's a very complex sort of flower made up of many repeating parts. Um, and again, while it is alien, it has established itself. It's generally believed that dandelions were brought over by the Puritans and other early settlers because it was a useful plant for them, and B, it kind of reminded them of home. It was a little piece of home to bring with them and plant. And it's spread quite by accident. Okay. Um, and again, when you look at this sort of situation, you kind of say that this could be considered a nuisance. If this is your lawn, this is this is a nuisance, but it is not damaging to the environment, and it is not particularly damaging to the economy. Okay, and I want to mention, kind of finishing up on the dandelion portion here. Ward Stone was the pathologist for New York State for many years, and I saw him present at a conference some years ago, and he was very much against poisons and a lot of the things that we were doing to the environment. And uh, as the state wildlife pathologist, he saw the results of a lot of our activities would come across, when people would send dead birds or dead animals, and he would autopsy them. But he apparently called one of his local cooperative extensions once without identifying himself, and he asked the person what the best way was to remove dandelions. And he was recommended a variety of herbicides to use. And so Stone then asked for alternatives. And the recommendation was using a handheld flamethrower to burn them out. which seems pretty crazy. Um, when Stone continued to ask him about other alternatives, because setting fire to your lawn doesn't seem like a great idea, he was told you could dig them out with a shovel, but as it's labor intensive, the best thing to do would be to just use herbicides. Stone finally asked him, "Why should I bother removing dandelions?" And after a long pause, the person said, "They cause brown spots." And so Stone used that as a crusade against herbicides and things. But it's an attractive plant. I mean, look at that. Look at the structure of that seed head there, and really, it does no harm. We have created this ideal of what a suburban lawn looks like, and it doesn't include dandelions, but they're really an interesting plant, and again, not native, not invasive, though definitely qualifying as a nuisance.